B.S. Yediyurappa is set to return to the Chief Minister's chair in Bengaluru after the Kumaraswamy government lost the trust vote on the floor of the State Assembly. Joining us to talk about all that's happened in the last week in Karnataka and its next steps for the BJP is the party's Rajya Sabha member Rajeev Chandrasekhar. Rajeev, in May 2018, the BJP believed that a shotgun alliance between the JDS and the Congress took away a mandate that had put the BJP as the single largest party in the Assembly. So do today's events bring that to a justified close, according to you?
Oh, absolutely. I think in May 2018, it was clear that the Congress government that was in power had been rejected. The JDS got about 35 MLAs elected, and it was clear that both those parties didn't have a mandate. We had come closest to it, were short of the majority by a few seats. And it was clear that the people wanted those two parties out. But they came into this opportunistic alliance and have made the last 14 months a clear global demonstration of what an opportunistic alliance looks like, which is, really about looting and malgovernance and very little of actual governance and development. So that has come to a close as we had predicted, that these things which are sort of bound together by opportunism rather than a clear development ideology will have these very rapid sunsets, and that is the sunset that we see today.
All right. Yes, agreed. This was a government that was riddled with contradiction, but it's not that the BJP did not try to give it a push or two over the edge in the last 14 months, right?
Look, you must understand that, when we are elected to serve the people, and you have in full view of the people of Karnataka, a government that is doing absolutely nothing. It is not for us to sit around and just play a violin or play a musical instrument. It is clearly incumbent on us to do what is right by the people of Karnataka, which was to help get rid of this government. And it's the MLAs that have spoken, and we see the result today in the vote of confidence that the Chief Minister himself moved.
How will the state party ensure the stability of any incoming government? The government that fell today was more because of what could technically be called abstentions. The number 105 against 2 is not above the halfway mark of even the reduced strength of the House. So if the MLAs currently in Mumbai are disqualified, that brings that halfway mark to about 106 or 107. The number voting against today was slightly lower. What's the party planning to make sure that the government that comes in, led by Mr. Yediyurappa, is more stable than the one that went out?
No, I think the popular mandate and the mood in Karnataka was visible in the last elections that have been held, that is a few months ago, where the BJP and its ally won 26 out of the 28 Lok Sabha seats. So there is absolutely no dearth of evidence that the people of Karnataka want and support the BJP. This is, in terms of what the future will hold and how the BJP's numbers and how the House, vis-a-vis the House, will play out, we will see, with the by-elections or whatever the case may be in the future. But for the present, the BJP is clearly the single largest party, as it was in May 2018. It will stake a claim to form the government, and it will do what is right by the people of Karnataka, which is to give it good, solid governance, the kind that Prime Minister Modi has set the benchmark for in Delhi.
In Madhya Pradesh, Shivraj Singh Chauhan made it a point to say that the BJP will not try and move to form any government there, even if there appear to be defections from Kamal Nath's camp. Why was Karnataka different?
No, I think I can't speak for Madhya Pradesh. I don't know the political landscape and the situation in Madhya Pradesh. I think the Karnataka situation was clearly something that was being felt by every man, woman and child, or at least most men, women and children of Karnataka, because this government was doing nothing. This had become a cozy club for the Devegowda family and a cozy club for a group of dynasts of the Congress. And there was very little that was going on that was to do with the people of Karnataka. So it was absolutely incumbent on the BJP to help dismantle this sort of cozy dynasty club, if you want to call it that, and get a government that will do, what is it's supposed to do, which is serving the people and standing by the people when they have droughts and there's agricultural crisis and there is malgovernance in Bengaluru, there are burning lakes, there's rotting garbage, pothole roads. There is no lack of evidence that the government of the last 14 months of Kumaraswamy and the 5 years before that of Siddaramaiah have miserably failed the people of Karnataka and Bengaluru.
Let me take the case of Delhi in 2013 then. The BJP was the single largest party, but I remember that evening the results came out. It unequivocally said that it will not attempt to form the government. It will not try to do so even after that brief alliance between the Congress and the AAP fell on its own contradictions. Again, trying to go back to you saying that this was not a situation where you'd want the opposition to play the violin. There was a hands-off approach that has been adopted elsewhere that wasn't here.
No. So I'm not even trying to make the point that we have the BJP has a similar model across the country. I think the situation and the circumstances of Karnataka required the BJP and requires the BJP to step up to the plate and give governance that the people want and have been missing for not 14 months, but for 5 years of Siddaramaiah and 14 months of Kumaraswamy. So there has been a big vacuum in the last 6 years and 4 months. And this is something that needs to be fixed. And, like I said, I don't have to convince anybody about it. If you just drive around Karnataka, there is ample evidence. If you just visit Bengaluru, there's ample evidence of what the last 6 years have done to that state and to the capital city of that state, Bengaluru.
Do the actions and do the developments of the last week carry the endorsement of the central leadership that we've heard very little from? You've had Mr. Muralidhar Rao make comments in the last day or two at the most, and he was the one who was in Bengaluru back in May 2018. But other than that, we've heard nothing from the central leadership.
I think you are asking the BJP only moves in, has a role now when the incumbent government loses its confidence of the House. Up to this point, the BJP was sitting in opposition and did very little. Today's vote of confidence, the BJP basically just reinforced its numbers of 105 members, which it had from May 2018. It is only now that the BJP has a role because there is a political vacuum, and the BJP will now, hopefully, with the after consulting its leaders and deciding on a strategy, offer to set up a government in Karnataka. Until this day today, the BJP had very little to do about the implosion and the collapse of this opportunistic alliance. That was a catastrophe of their own making.
You briefly referred to the numbers that the party won on the 23rd of May. Does that give confidence that the party might want to go back to the people earlier than the cycle, be it, I think, 2023, to say, give us a clearer mandate to run the state?
No, look, I think the Prime Minister has repeatedly said elections are not some academic exercise. There is a lot of money, there's a lot of resources that get, spent. And so it is not something that we should just, treat as some small little event. The people of Karnataka voted in their MLAs, the 224 MLAs in May 2018 to give them a good government that would develop the state and transform people's lives. And I don't see any reason for that basic need of the people to have changed. And I don't think there's any need for anybody to go back to the people and seek another election and spend thousands of crores of public exchequer money when there is a clearly viable government that is possible. I can understand if there is ample evidence or there is a future evidence that there is no viable government, that elections become the go-to solution. But currently, I have absolutely no doubt that the BJP is able to and will be able to form a government, if the high command of the BJP chooses to do so.
My final two questions to you. One is relating to the fact that the certain few cases are still open before the Supreme Court. Do you anticipate any further volatility in the situation as a result of any decision that might come from there?
No, see, I don't know. I'm not a party to those cases, but I have followed them in the public domain, in the media. I think you can't ignore the Congress's inherent and deep talent to use the courts to destabilize and courts to go back and muddy the waters. But that is something I suspect that the Congress will do. It is part of their DNA, and they will continue to do because now they will be, fully jobless in a sense, not being part of any government in Karnataka. So I think they will spend a lot of time trying to see how they can destabilize and create chaos in the state.
My final question to you is a question of leadership for the party in this state. Rajiv, Mr. Yediyurappa is pretty much on that mark of 75 years, which the Prime Minister laid down informally as the point where he'd like to see leaders move on and let a new generation come in to take executive roles. Does that mean that the party might have to look beyond him to take charge in this state, either right now or a little down the line?
No, I think Mr. Yediyurappa, as it's clear to everybody, Mr. Yediyurappa is the leader of the party in Karnataka. He was the leader of the opposition. He was in the House today. He is the leader of the BJP in Karnataka today. It's a bit beyond my pay scale to comment on the future of leadership issues, especially. Those are decided, obviously, by, senior leaders of our party, and that's a bit out of my, pay scale to comment on those. But currently, there's absolutely no ambiguity that Mr. Yediyurappa is our leader and will be our leader.
Chandrasekhar, thank you very much for making time this evening, the day the Kumaraswamy government has lost its trust vote and Yediyurappa is likely to take over as Chief Minister for the third time in Bengaluru. Thank you.